This is Honey Badger Nation,
where real estate
Good morning. I hope you are doing well today. It's 10 o'clock and we had a date, right? This is Patrick Lee. It's time for Midweek Motivation Live. Midweek Motivation Live with me, your host. Now available on all major podcast networks. Wherever you go to watch your podcast content, consume motivational content, you can find Midweek Motivation Live. Apple, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever you go, you can find Midweek Motivation Live. We'd love to see you on there. Leave us a review, find the show, download the show, watch the show. Love to see you. Also in the afternoons, the show gets uploaded to our YouTube channel, Midweek Motivation Live with Patrick Lee YouTube channel, and we simulcast the show. Currently, we are watching, broadcasting on Facebook and LinkedIn at the same time. YouTube has a tendency to pull you down or crunch you down in the feed if you go live from a competing source. So we don't do that. Good to see people already tuning in to watch the show. Love you guys. I appreciate you coming back. Got a special show for you today. A dream, a declaration, and a forgotten hero. I am wearing, maybe you can't tell. I'll move the camera here. I'm wearing this is my fireworks shirt for American independence. We are celebrating Independence Day week here in America. And I wore my fireworks shirt in your honor. And that's what we want to talk about today. Really, where did America come from? A little bit about how we were founded. Everyone says America was founded in 1776, right? That's history. America was founded in 1776. And I've got to be honest. That's what I always taught and believed as well. And then a couple of years ago, some of you that know me know I had joined a group with David, I'm going to get his name wrong, Rick Green and David Barton, wall builders, and became a Constitution coach. And I actually taught for a few months on the Constitution. Good morning. Hey, P. Lee in the house. That's right. Cody and Gina, love you guys. Good to see you watching as well. Gina and Cody, proud owners of Fire Slice Brick Oven Pizzeria, the hidden secret of Amarillo, which is no longer secret. Number one on what? TripAdvisor and Yelp, something like that for years. Amazing. And drinking coffee in my Fire Slice cup. I was a black cup guy, and then I've recently become a white, something about drinking my coffee in a crisp, clean white cup. It's refreshing. I love it. Good stuff. Good to see you guys watching today. But some of you know I became a Constitution coach, and I don't say that I turned into a history buff or a history nut. I simply started teaching concepts about the Constitution, where we came from. And this is one that I had actually not really researched. I've heard about this guy. Maybe some of you guys have heard about this guy, but I wanted to talk about him. And that's the show today, a dream, a declaration, and a forgotten hero of American independence. Many people don't know. You may not know. Hello, Miss Claudia. Good to see you watching as well today. A lot of people talk about that American Independence Day, 4th of July, 1776. We sing about it. We sing the national anthem before a sporting event. I still haven't done that. Sung the national anthem in front of a major sporting event. That's going to be on my bucket list. I need to do that for a major sporting event. Sing the national anthem. But we talk about that a lot. 1776. But 1776 was actually the time that we made a Declaration of Independence live, right? The battle wasn't over. The battle was really beginning. And there's this forgotten hero who was a part of that battle who helped secure our freedom as a nation. If you've ever wondered, why do we say America was founded in 1776? But there was a war that went on for years after that. That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to peel back this theory, this this whole spirit with the fireworks, the food, the cookouts, the flag waving, and everything else. And we're going to get real about what Independence Day really means here in America. I want to unpack that for you. I'm also going to introduce you to the man that I'm telling you about, whose name should be in every history book, but most people have never heard of him. Okay. You're like, oh, Patrick, what have you got here? A man whose quiet courage helped turn the tide of history. His name is James Armistead. James Armistead. And by the end of this episode, you're going to see why his story matters and why your story also matters. How you choose to live your life, how you choose to fight your battle, whose quiet courage can turn your tide of history around. His story doesn't matter just for America's freedom, but it matters for our own lives as well, our own battles that we face, the declarations, the dreams that we make and that we have, and our own destiny. We talk about that a lot here on the show, Destiny Legacy. So let's dive in. Point 1, 1776 was the declaration, not the destination. What are you talking about? You see, we celebrate July 4, 1776 as America's birthday. But here's what most people forget. 1776 wasn't the end of the fight for freedom. It was only the beginning of that war. Okay. When the Second Continental Congress adopted the Declaration of Independence, there were 13 colonies that said to Britain and the world, we are no longer under your rule. We are a free people, like it or leave it. But just because they declared that didn't necessarily mean it happened overnight, right? The truth is the Revolutionary War actually started in 1775 with battles like Lexington and Concord, and it raged on for years after our Declaration of Independence, all the way to 1783. What? Yeah, go back and read some of your history books. Maybe some of you slept through history class. I know that I did. I didn't physically sleep. I may have slept, but I was also in sports, and we did 2-a-days. And there were some times I slept through history class and social studies and a couple of other classes. But listen, the war raged all the way to 1783. In 1776, you can say that was when they issued our birth certificate, but the birth pains lasted for years after that. It isn't necessarily true that when you declare something, when you dream something, or you plan something, that it's automatically just going to become your reality right away, right? Sometimes you have a dream, and then you have a declaration about that dream, a decision that is made, and that's when the battle starts, right? That's just the way life is. Whether it's in your faith, in your business, or your relationships, you can decide to be free. You can decide to chase a dream, and then you can even declare that to your friends and maybe your inner sphere of influence, the people that you know, love, and trust. But how do we walk that out? That takes grit, patience, and sometimes sacrifice. Cody says, history was my favorite subject. I'm loving this episode. Good. Today's show is all for you, Cody. Point number 2. Who is this forgotten hero that we're talking about? James Armistead. This quiet warrior helped make America's battle for freedom real. And he's a man history nearly forgot. His name, James Armistead. He was a slave born in Virginia around 1748. A slave, you say? Yes, he was a slave on a plantation, but James didn't let that stop him. In 1781, as America was fighting its battle for its freedom, James asked his owner for permission to serve in the Revolutionary Army. Slaves were not allowed to fight in the army at that point in time. But his owner master is what they call him at that time, wrote him a letter of support, sent him off and said, I support you. And he sent him to go be a fighter under of a man named the Marquis de Lafayette, the French general fighting alongside the Americans. And Lafayette, he saw James' courage and his unique opportunity coming to the battle as a slave. He sent James to become a spy, posing as a runaway slave to infiltrate the British army and serve in their forces, and it worked. Before long, James was serving directly under General Cornwallis himself, the British commander, gaining his trust, and at the same time, collecting secrets, military secrets. And then he would sneak away and tell all of those secrets to the revolutionary forces. Pretty brilliant plan, right? An enslaved man risking everything, playing a dangerous game behind enemy lines. He wasn't carrying a gun or a musket. He wasn't leading charges out on the battlefield, but he was gathering the intelligence information that would change the course of the war. Can one man really change history? I believe that James Armistead did. You see, James discovered vital information about British troop movements, fortifications that they had held up. The pivotal place was Yorktown, Virginia, James's own state. See, the British troops had fortified Yorktown, and that ended up becoming the site of the war's final decisive battle. With the information that James Armistead brought back to the revolutionary troops, Lafayette and George Washington themselves launched the siege of Yorktown. And in October 1781, Cornwallis surrendered. The war was effectively over. And behind that historic victory, a man whose name they nearly erased from history, James Armistead, was the forgotten hero. You see, James didn't come home as a hero. James actually came home as a slave. He came home kind of like on parole for serving in the military. He returned to life as an enslaved man. That's unfortunately the truth about James Armistead. But Lafayette, the man that he served under, never forgot James. He actually wrote a letter to the legislature of Virginia. Cody says the show Turn on the History Channel really tells his story well if you want to dig deeper. Awesome. Love that. I love the History Channel. Lafayette wrote a letter to the Virginia legislature thanking James Armistead for his service. And they actually made him a free man. He became emancipated in 1787, 6 years later. Out of gratitude, James Armistead took Lafayette's name, and in the history books, he is written as James Armistead Lafayette. He went on to live as a free man the rest of his life, a farmer, a father, a living testimony that even when the world overlooks you, God doesn't overlook you. Here's the lesson for us today. Your freedom starts with a declaration. We have dreams and goals, right? Things that we believe God has told us we should achieve in life. Sometimes things that we have dreamt up, or us as partners with our spouses, we have decided to chart a course for our life. We have these dreams, and it's the point that you make the declaration sometimes that the battle starts. And we have to realize that that battle for freedom isn't instant. Our freedom starts with a declaration, but the battle to secure it, that takes time. Like I said earlier, it takes grit, takes determination, and sometimes a war. And during that war, you may be the leader, you may be the partner of the leader, or you may be the forgotten hero behind the scenes doing the dirty work that goes overlooked. You feel like your work doesn't matter. But just like James Armistead, your quiet courage can change your future. You don't need a famous name to leave a lasting mark. You need faithfulness. You need hard work, right? You need determination. You need to go do the things that it takes for you to succeed, for you to live up to the declaration that you have made. The Bible says in Galatians 6 and verse 9, let us not grow weary in doing good. It actually says, depending on the translation, it says in well doing, to not grow weary in well doing. For at the proper time, we will reap the harvest if we do not give up. James didn't give up. I'm not going to give up. No matter what's going on in my life, the battles that may be raging in my life or your life, I'm not going to give up. I have a dream. We put a plan in motion. We've made the declaration of where we're going to go. And we have to continue to work day in and day out to achieve that, right? Because of James' sacrifice, we enjoy freedom today, right? The revolutionary forces went in. They knew what was going on in Yorktown, and they defeated the enemy. And that really turned the tide. And that general, actually, Cornwallis, actually surrendered. And that was the major surrender that started leading to all of the other surrenders. And the war effectively ended. And we had made a declaration of independence in 1776, but we were not independent in 1776. It wasn't until 1783 that the British actually agreed to the peace treaty in Paris, and they decreed that we were an independent people. So the big takeaway from this, July 4th, 1776, may have been the beginning, not the end. Freedom for a nation, for your family, for your own life. But it was the beginning. It wasn't the end. And whatever the big beginning, the declaration is in your life, we just need to remember that, right? The persistence, the sacrifice, the quiet courage that it's going to have to take for us to achieve the goals that we have set. And we must not forget to remember, we must not forget to remember, we must not forget the famous names, right? Washington, Jefferson, the Marquis de Lafayette, who James Armistead took his name. But we don't forget the James Armistead Lafayette's either, right? The unsung, the unseen, the people who rise up in faith, who play their part and help turn the tide, even if no one writes their name, my name, or your name in the history books. Let me remind you, you may feel ordinary, like your fight doesn't matter, but I promise you this, there are people watching you that see you. Don't think that you're unseen. Even if those people don't reach out to you and tell you, do not believe that you are unseen. And if you never hear from someone else that they see you, God sees you. I promise you that. God uses the ordinary people like you and me to do the extraordinary, and he watches us while we do it. And remember this, your dreams matter, your declaration matters, then the daily battle matters because your legacy matters, right? The destination matters. This Independence Day, be grateful, be bold, be motivated, be courageous. And remember, greatness lives inside of you. Greatness lives inside of me. It lives inside of all of us. It truly does. Thank you for spending part of your 4th of July week with me. I know it's the second. I'm going to an event this evening with friends, and we're going to celebrate the 4th a little bit early. And I don't even know what I'm going to do on the 4th of July, but I know this much. I'm going to be grateful for James Armistead Lafayette and many other people like him who helped us achieve this great victory. I'm going to be grateful for the people in my life, also behind the scenes, the unsung hero, the people that may feel unseen. And I would like to tell you, I see you. If you're doing something that matters, we see that. If you don't think it matters to anyone but you, that doesn't matter. It matters to us. It does matter. We see you. I had someone reach out to me the other night, and I hadn't, he's a leader in my industry. And I was talking with someone else about a program, that they are running. And his name hadn't come up for a while, hadn't talked to him in a long time. And we just run in different circles. And he sent me a text that evening out of the blue. And I don't remember the last time I got a text from this guy, maybe a year ago. And this leader just said, "I see you, brother. I see you. Let's go." And it was just an encouragement to me, just a reminder that there are people that are watching. They see when you achieve a goal. They see when you hit, you receive an award. They see when you hit a goal, maybe a financial goal or a recruiting goal or a business goal or a family goal. They see that. We don't always post them on social media, but they see how we show up in life. They see the hard work that we put in. And sometimes you just need to reach out and encourage that person and let them know you see them. And if that's you, I would like to tell you, thank you for doing the things behind the scenes that maybe no one else sees. I appreciate that. I appreciate it when someone sees the things I do. And I know that you do too. And I would like to say thank you. If this episode encouraged you today, maybe you feel like the forgotten hero, just remember you're not. Share this with a friend. I really appreciate that. Share the show. Like, love, share. That's the best way for me to grow the show and help more people. The downloads each and every week continue to grow. I love getting the reports on that. There's Mr. Pete. Thank you for tuning in today, Pete. Always appreciate that, brother, when you tune in to watch the show as well. As always, don't forget to remember, I'm going to keep saying that now that it's on my mind. Don't forget to remember Patrick Lee's show, Midweek Motivation Live, is now sponsored by Stellar CBD and wellness products. I'm using the Stellar Energy Focus mushroom gummies, fruit punch flavored. These are amazing. They're full of lion's mane mushrooms, ginseng, and B12, and they're gluten-free. You can order all of those at www.getstellar.com. Use my code Patrick20. You'll get 20% off all orders of Stellar CBD wellness products. Stellar, elevate your wellness. Love this stuff. They're now the sponsor of Midweek Motivation Live. I hope the show has helped you today. I truly do. Until I see you next time, happy Independence Day, guys. Celebrate the unsung hero. Stay motivated, stay faithful, be courageous, and happy Independence Day. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.